Time to go live to Las Vegas. Gareth A Davies, how's it going?
It's Viva Las Vegas, baby.
How are things there? Is the excitement starting to bubble up nicely for the weekend?
Oh, it really is, Owen. I got in kind of round about midnight last night, Sunday night, as it was in Las Vegas. Had my cursory walk around the MGM with the posters outside, the neon green as it was, huge billboards outside the main vestibule, the Golden Lions already there in a ring in the main hall of the MGM, in the entrance hall, the check-in area. The cloths on the tables have Fury and Wilder on. It's just, I bumped into Jorge Sapatillo, who did the eye when Fury fought Otto Wallin last. Just bumped straight into him, had a chat. The shops are full of the merchandise. It does feel like it's going to be a very big week. And as you know, I've been here for Conor McGregor events, Floyd Mayweather, Ricky Hatton, Manny Pacquiao, even Mike Tyson down the years. And it really does have a big feel about it. It's just very exciting.
Does the big feel, in your opinion, come from an individual of these two, or has their relationship in the ring and the unbelievable fight we had in 2018 almost come as one? There is a happy marriage here where you can't have Fury without Wilder and Wilder without Fury right now, because what they served up last time was so bloody good.
Exactly. I think, for either of the winners on Saturday night, there will be the conquering of each other, as well as either retaining the World Boxing Council belt or winning it in Fury's case. I think when that first fight happened in Los Angeles, Fury seemed to have jumped into a fight with Deontay Wilder, this kind of guy with a 95% knockout ratio percentage in his fights. A little bit ahead of time. It felt a bit hasty. He'd been away for 30 months. He'd ballooned to 28 stone. He'd suffered mental health issues. And he came to fight Wilder with no one really giving him a major chance. He could have done with 2 more fights. And yet, as you say, we got this amazing spectacle where he rises like Lazarus from the grave in the 12th round, gets up at the count of 9, wakes up at the count of 5, after being put on his back, seemingly knocked out for the count. And I think in the intervening 14 months, Owen, the promotion, the fight between the two guys has grown its own legs. And now we are talking about 2 undefeated fighters, both undefeated for 12 years as professionals, as Anthony Joshua's lost in the meantime. So we're looking at the generational leader who wins this on Saturday night. And they go into the pantheon of Vladimir Klitschko, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, all the way back, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. So I think the winner is a major winner on Saturday night.
It absolutely is, and we've seen changes in Tyson Fury's camp. We obviously have Andy in there helping out, and we're going to see him ringside at the weekend. We obviously have Sugar Hill Stewart in the setup as well, who essentially replaced Ben Davison. Now, you've been speaking to Ben Davison. It's in this morning's Telegraph. What have you learned?
It was an amicable split, if you like. It was a conscious uncoupling, as some couples decide, not calling it a divorce. They're still friends. They're still exchanging text messages. I don't think Ben Davison, in principle, agreed with this theory of being more aggressive and going after Wilder in the second fight, and that's why Lee, the first traveller middleweight champion of the world, an Irishman, a cousin of Tyson Fury, allied with Sugar Hill Stewart, the nephew of the late great Emmanuel Stewart, deciding that they can find a way for Fury not just to outbox Wilder, but to impose himself on him and wear him down. Whether it works or not, we don't know. If it does, they'll all be geniuses. If it doesn't, he may well go back to Ben Davison, who loved the movement and the defensive nous and the skills of Tyson Fury, or at least that's what they developed over 2 years together.
That's interesting. But what we can expect this Saturday is that Tyson Fury is going to go out there to knock him out, and he might try and do so quite early in the fight.
I think early in the fight was a bit of a ruse. I sat with Tyson today with the national media over here from the UK, 15, 20 of us for a good 40 minutes. Then I sat with Bob Arum for 20 minutes. I sat with Tyson on my own for 10 minutes at the end of the day and had a right laugh with him. And I said, look, come on, you know, if you go in there and you're outboxing him round by round, we're all going to be doing this for the last 4 rounds, saying, hold, jab and hold. And he said, look, I'm not going to go in there and go like a bull in a china shop. This is going to be a boxing lesson. I'm going to try and break him down over a number of rounds. And when you put that into perspective, on paper, and we saw it in the first fight, again, a guy who was still flabby, who wasn't quite yet set in his rhythm. And I've never seen Fury look this good physically or even be this powerful mentally. He should be able to, if he dominates the bout, if Wilder eats enough jabs and does get the right hand there and maybe the odd uppercut, left hook. Fury's very good at switching to southpaw as well, although that would expose him to the right hand. If he manages to break Wilder down, he could stop him. I think that's around 7, 8, 9. But I think it's more likely, Owen, that he'll be 6 or 7 rounds ahead after 8 rounds. And we are going to have this thrilling finish again where we're waiting for Fury. Can he get to the end? Will Wilder's punches land? Will Fury even get the decision in America again? Will there be a trilogy fight? It's so exciting because the truth is it's the same fight all over again and we really don't know what's going to happen.
Sorry, Gareth, from what you're saying there, it definitely seems, and I think Andy was mentioning it on the show last night about how he's come in and is a bit more of a proper boxing coach, a punching coach to Tyson Fury now, that what we've seen since December 2018 is a guy who, according to you, has improved athletically, is looking much better, but has also improved as a boxer. So this is a fairly improved opponent that Deontay Wilder is coming up against, and this is improved from the guy who almost beat him in December 2018, at least gave an unbelievably good account of himself.
No, I think he did beat. I had Fury winning by at least 3 rounds in that first fight. Look, judging's judging. I don't think anyone set out to rob Tyson Fury of this most incredible comeback to win, by the way, the last belt of the 4 that he hadn't won, because he won the other 3 against Vladimir Klitschko in December 2015 in Dusseldorf, November as it was now, rather, in Dusseldorf, at the very end of November. But I think what we need to be aware of, and you know, about a week ago I was in Alabama with in Tuscaloosa with Deontay Wilder. When you sit with him, his body looks like sheet metal. He looks incredible. He's got this, you know, the Bronze Bomber's got this tattooed body. It's a story on his whole body and words. His self-belief is off the charts as well. He's shown more patience in his last 2 fights. Against Dominic Brazil. All right, that was a quick fight, but certainly against Luis Ortiz, where he was 6, 7 rounds behind. And he found that moment to detonate. For him, it's just a game of inches and getting into range and getting his opponent in the right position. Because, you know, mark my words, he is still so dangerous. And he believes that he's going to be the man, as he says, one name, one face, one champion of this era. I mean, I'm going to talk and talk and talk about this all week. I'm going to broadcast about it. I'm going to write about it. Honestly, there's nothing between them at the moment. And I really do think we're on for a monumental fight that could end any one of 12 ways.
Well, then I might frame my final question to you like this then, Gareth. Instead of just a straight-up prediction, I will ask you for who is going to win, but also what happens next. Depending on who you think is going to win, will there then be a trilogy?
Well, it all depends on how the fight plays out, really, because if we get another incredibly close fight that goes to split decision to either man, or, you know, it goes to the wire and, you know, there's a controversial cut at the end, or it will depend on the content of the fights and the denouement and the crescendo of this event this week. The outcome is important. It's how one of them loses, if one of them loses, to trigger that trilogy fight, that the loser in their contract, I'm sure you're aware of this and you've told your viewers, the loser has the option to activate a trilogy fight. The winner, we imagine, will go on and fight Anthony Joshua, because again, it's another huge money fight against a guy who needs to be beaten by either Fury or Wilder for them to probably say that they got everyone in the division. And I'd count Dillian Whyte in that number as well. I don't know if Anthony Joshua will be next. I think that's more likely to play out next year. But basically, to the winner on Saturday night, the spoils, the winner, if it is an outright winner and it's someone who everybody feels won, they become the man of this generation.
Well, listen, Gareth, enjoy the fight, enjoy the build-up. It's going to be a great week. Thanks a million for taking the call. Gareth, cheers.